Um,
Woohoo! More fun stuff. More good energy, actually. So this is where I'm just gonna chime in and take on over. So
go for it.
y'all, the time has finally come.
Hey, Mindset fam, we are back with you guys for another fantastic episode of Mindset Talks podcast. Welcome back.
Welcome, welcome. Damn, girl, you got some high ass energy. I am feeling this.
I don't know, there's just like a lot of excitement just going on inside of me right now. I just can't.
Spill, spill,
Well,
share.
I mean, we are currently going through some extremely hazardous conditions.
Mm.
And scary at times and unfortunate as it is, I must say, I am slightly enjoying it because it is providing some benefits that I'm just all here for. So like today, for example, on my way home from work, it literally took me less than 2 hours to get home, which
Woohoo!
is literally a record when it comes to going home. Going to work is a different story. It takes me
Okay,
maybe an hour. Well, it will always be at least an hour, but it's close to 1 hour. Whereas like
okay.
going home, it's always like 2 hours plus. Um, Maybe more so like 2.5 hours to give you guys like a better idea.
No,
um,
thank you.
and today it was literally like an hour and like 40 something minutes. So
She's not even going to tell you the seconds, but I know she has that information.
Well, no, but I left work late, which is also unheard of because normally I'm like, all right, I'm out the door so I can like, try
Right.
to
Beat the
beat
traffic.
something.
Sit in traffic. Yeah.
Exactly. So that in itself just has me all pumped up because when I tell you the moods I be in when I am stuck in traffic and I get home like 2.5 hours
Mm.
later, I feel so bad for my boyfriend because I feel like I just have like the worst attitude. And he just kind of like looks at me like, what is wrong with you? But it's like, don't even talk to me. Like, don't go there. So today it was just none of that. And
Right.
um, it's just
She's speechless. She's so happy. She's speechless.
it's so many blessings. And I don't have to go in tomorrow because of all these air quality issues. So
Mm.
I'm just really kind of enjoying it right now.
Man, the fires, are they a blessing or a curse? No one knows.
I know. I mean, obviously not a blessing because they are extreme.
Right, of course.
And yesterday, well, so I'll put this into perspective since this will be dropping on a different day, and who knows when you guys are actually going to listen to us. But on Thursday, no, today's Thursday that we're recording. So on what day is this?
Thursday, as you said.
So
It all started
on
on Tuesday.
it all started on Tuesday, but Wednesday, which was the 7th, I believe. I think today,
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
So the 7th
Yes.
of June, right, was like the worst day of all of this. And when I tell you how eerie and scary it kind of, I mean, scary is a whatever word, but just like out of nowhere, you just like
Mhm.
started kind of like smelling smoke. And mind you, I'm inside a building that is very well sealed. So it's just kind of like, why am I smelling smoke right now?
Right.
And then like it slowly just like got darker and like everything like turned orange. It was
Ugh.
the weirdest thing
That's so
ever.
trippy. So trippy.
It was so weird.
It's funny because actually on the 6th, I remember getting ready in the morning and my man's like, "Oh, the sky looks weird."
Mm,
And I'm looking and I'm like, "Yeah, it does look different." I couldn't really figure out what it was, but there was something different to it and it was hazy pretty much, but it honestly seemed like it looked a little worse for us on Tuesday than it did on Wednesday, but
oh,
I'm also, I'm right here further east than you are and also
right.
right on the water too. So with that combination, I was just kind of more out of that direction, I guess,
Mhm.
for the way that was going with the fire and everything, but it was weird because Tuesday we're just like, damn, like the sky don't usually look like this. And then it wasn't, until later. And then Wednesday, like you said, Wednesday was just like, God damn, like
Mhm.
I seen the pictures for New York, and aside from what you sent, and it was just like, that's trippy.
It was insane. So, what I've been informed is the way that, like, the air quality index works is that it ranges from 0 to 500, with
Hmm.
500 being deadly.
Exactly. Yep.
And on the 7th, when the entire New York City skies turned orange, it was ranking at 484.
Right. And I heard it hasn't been that bad since probably like the 60s or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was just really insane, and, like, even today, it was, like, half of that, it was, like, 2 something, so it was
Still
still, like,
terrible.
so much better, but it's still, like, something that you don't wanna be in.
Right.
So, it's just really wild, and then to hear that, like, New York City was the most polluted city, like, in the world, like, what the fuck, New York? Like,
Hmm.
why do we always have to be the epicenter of everything? Because I'm very tired of it, especially after COVID, like, we don't need this kind of bullshit, like, what is happening?
Well, that's because New York is a whole bunch of fucking things crammed into one little area to begin with.
I
So
mean,
there's really no place for anything to go. Like everything is jammed into one area. And I remember seeing that there's just so many people and things. Like New York is so overpopulated and overbuilt that it's actually sinking slowly.
yeah, I was gonna say, that's
Yeah,
the new thing going around too, so
right. Which it should be, not like saying like, yes, it needs to sink, but like that's a lot within one area.
yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy, but you know, that's just how it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can't
That's
speak on it.
like
It's just how it is.
it really is. I don't know, and that's just been my phrase for, like, the past couple of days is that this is just wild, like, I don't
Yeah.
even
And
there's no other words.
it's interesting because you know, I work in customer service. I speak with people across the country in different states.
Yeah.
And so, that became like the topic for many conversations
Mhm,
for especially for those of us here on the East Coast, and talking about how it's reaching all the way down to like the Carolinas, that
mm,
haze. I even heard Georgia as well. For some people were saying that it was touching down to Georgia.
wow.
And then I'm talking to someone on the West Coast in Cali, and we're having this conversation about it, and they're just like, I mentioned it, I'm like, yeah, it's reached to the Carolinas. They're like, oh my gosh, they're talking about relatives being over on the East Coast, and how they should reach out. But then it's funny, the conversation took a turn because they're like, well, we get fires all the time over here. So like it turned into
Yeah.
like, oh wow. And then it started at, oh wow. And then it turned into, well, we deal with this all the time. So like
That's
y'all will be
true.
okay. Y'all are gonna be good. And it's just like, well, we're just not used to this.
Yeah, not
So
at
like
all.
this isn't common for us. And then it also seems more extreme on our side, aside from the fact that it typically doesn't happen over here,
Mhm.
but it's going through numerous states, whereas California is pretty much a whole coast.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just like
It's
it's just,
different.
oh, it's from Northern California to Southern California, it's still California. But over here it's like, oh my gosh, it's in like 8 different states. But that's because all the states are so much smaller than California.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and it's just wild though, like, if you told me that a fire in Canada would travel to New York City, I'd be like, "You're out of your fucking mind," you know?
Hmm.
So, just, like, that concept in general is just, like, mind
Yeah.
blowing.
It's just a lot. And me, I have like conspiracy type vibes at times. So I'm not even going to go into depth with it, but I just feel a type of way about it. And that's where I'm going to leave my opinion on that.
Alright, well, I guess that's enough for that. So, on to the next topic. Um,
Ooh, more fun stuff, more good energy, actually. So this is where I'm just going to chime in and take on over. So,
go for it.
y'all, the time has finally come. I have finally seen the video for the genetic testing. Oh
Woohoo!
my gosh.
It was
So,
amazing.
thank you. We have been waiting so long for this video. Like, video filmed in March. It's June and we finally got it. Little technical difficulties and they forgot about me. But other than that, I
Yeah, to throw that
finally
in there.
I finally have it, and it it's such I don't know, it's such a touching video, and it's it I don't know what to say about it, honestly. It's just such a nice video. They really did a great job with their editing
Yeah,
and putting it all together. They kept telling me that I did really well and made it easy for them, and I can see how in the video just because, I was there doing it and then seeing it as a finished product. And I'm not
yeah,
saying that to gaslight myself, but like
should.
it but it's just like it didn't seem like they had to adjust much. Like things just flowed really nicely, and
Mhm.
they shouted out the podcast in the
Yes.
video. So, not your girls, but your girl here with our show, on
Mhm.
the training video here. So I'm definitely gonna make sure that we share that so you guys can
Yes.
see it.
I'm gonna just stop you right there because that
Okay.
part of the video is just so like, it is just so professional, and
But
it really just kind of, like, turned my mind into something else because I'm like, "Wow, like, this actually looks, like, legit," and, like, how cool would it be, like, if this was, like, like, an everyday, like, kinda thing, whatever, you know what I
right.
mean? Like,
No, that'd be pretty dope.
yeah, it just looks so awesome, and
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, no, it turned out great. So, I am going to take a look. I haven't looked yet, but I am going to take a look to see if the research lab does have a YouTube channel where they have their training. So then
Mhm.
that way I can also share that link with you guys so you can just see the whole video. I'm just not sure if I can actually post the whole video. So that's why I'm not posting it, but you
Yeah.
damn sure know I am going to post some clips. So we'll at least do that.
Yes.
But it's just exciting, we sat down together and we watched it, and it was just like, "Ah." And then, I had to send it out so y'all could see it, and so my family I sent it to some family members too, so,
Aw.
yeah, it was it was nice to finally have, and but it just sucked because it's like I've been waiting so long, and now I watched it, and it's like, "Alright, next." It's like,
That's
"Alright."
true, but it's nice to have, you're gonna, like, have that forever and stuff, and
Mhm.
it really was beautifully made. You were just stunning, and you were amazing, and like you said, everything just
Thank you.
really flowed with each other, and just it was also as wonderful as it is, it's also just, like, so heartbreaking, and it's just
Right.
kind of like, oh god, like, my
Yeah,
heart, like
it's a whammy.
yeah, it was a lot, but also just, like just so amazing. I mean, and I didn't tell you this when I was, like, talking to you about it yesterday or anything,
Mhm,
but you truly did inspire me, just like, we talk about it all the time and stuff like that, but I don't know what it is about just, like, seeing it in, like, a video,
mhm.
like, outside of just, like, us chit-chatting.
Yeah.
It just really kind of inspired me to where I am at least considering, not actually, fully thinking like this is going to happen, but
Okay.
you definitely have me considering where before it just wasn't a consideration for me at all,
Mhm.
into actually getting, genetic testing because
Oh.
I guess I never because we've had, like, piecemeal conversations about it, so, like, I never
Mhm.
really put together, like, how many people in your family have actually unfortunately had cancer,
Right.
and it kind of made me relate as well because I also have a very long lineage of people that have cancer in my family,
Mhm.
and I'm just kind of like, "Well, damn," like, you know, I've thought about it, but, like, I've never actually, like, I don't know, like, seriously put into, like, these
Seriously
kinds of
processed it as like a as an actual thought of something you would do.
yeah, exactly. And also my bad, like, I don't have a primary care physician, so that probably also doesn't help the situation either.
No. It does not help the
Uh, so
situation.
I kinda have to, like, get on all of my
P's and
I
Q's,
yeah, I
yes, on your
have to
primary cares.
definitely have to get my shit together. So, long story short here, you truly inspired me. You're amazing, and I just absolutely love you.
Oh, thank you. I love you too. Oh, that was so nice. Wow, that was way better than sharing that through text or a voice message. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. So
Ugh, get me all emotional and sappy on the show, girl. Stop. Stop.
well, it can't always be me, okay? So
Oh, no, that was pretty dope. I appreciate that. But and that's really what the video is also for, aside from like teaching the physicians in the field, but
mhm.
for people to understand like it's not necessarily to make you feel bad about, potentially carrying a gene, but it's just really to be proactive. So
Yeah. And I think the part that really got me is when you said, that there truly is no downside to it, you
hmm
know? Because like, at the
right.
end of the day, it really just boils down to your fear. Because like, that's my problem, like, I'm just terrified, like, I don't
hmm
even wanna think about any of that kind of stuff,
Yes.
but at the same time, aside from just, like, being scared, like, there
hmm
is no negative.
Right, right. Because you can get the information and either choose to not do anything with it or do something about it. And
Right.
if you don't do anything with it, it doesn't change anything. It's just, okay, I've obtained this information as to if I do or don't carry something, and I am going to or not going to do something about it. And
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
exactly.
I
So
will say though, the only thing is my hair was a little jacked up in the video. I wasn't liking it,
oh,
and I
I didn't
didn't
notice that
know.
at all.
Oh, well, yeah, because it kind of just like it worked out okay, but me being me, knowing that my hair was not supposed to look like that, was like, oh, what the, like, oh, that was the only frustrating thing. But other than that, I loved it.
Well, regardless, you looked amazing, so who really cares?
Thank you. I want to thank my makeup artist. Her
Oh
name
my
is
god.
Amanda, aka me, aka myself,
Oh my
aka
god.
I.
Alright, so moving on because I just cannot.
Wait, speaking of jacked up hair, my hair in this episode is looking crazy. Okay. So Cassie and I were discussing this a little bit before we started recording,
Oh
but
god.
we're going to need to do we're going to get some videos for y'all on YouTube about how to wear your headphones with hair as a woman, because even as a man with hair, I don't care who you are, as a person with
I
hair,
can't.
whether it's your real hair, a wig, I don't really care, but no one, like Cassie said, no one teaches you how to wear headphones with hair. And look at me. I look like I'm from like Xenon Sequel right now and some futuristic stuff. I got like bangs in the front and a
Oh
ponytail
my
in the
god.
back. But I just want y'all to know, look, this is all ponytail. It's actually one whole ponytail, but the way my headphones are,
She
it looks like
said
I have bangs in the front. Okay. I look like a little gremlin. Like I look like something crazy right now. Like look at my
oh
hair.
man, ow, my cheeks hurt. I can't.
I just want
Ow.
y'all to know, for those of you who are
Mm.
viewing,
Mm.
I am aware as to how I look, but the way my headphones were before, Cassie highly suggested that I change the positioning because my
Oh,
hair was all up
oh,
like this on the sides.
'cause it looks better now than it did before.
Wh-
So,
Which, if you see me now, I'm still questioning how it looked better than before. But yeah, I was at a loss. Uh, Headphones one, Amanda zero.
I think it's just a constant thing because we still haven't figured it out yet because even with my hair being down, it, like, squishes everything, and then, like, some
hmm
of these, like, pieces just kind of, like, straggle,
Right.
and it's just I don't know. Once we
It's
figure it out, we'll give you guys a tutorial or whatever,
right.
but we haven't quite figured it out yet ourselves, so
You put your hair up again, put your headphones too far back. I even struggle with work. I just want to say I wear a headset for work and I struggle.
yeah, but at least that's different though, because you don't really care, necessarily what you look like.
I don't, but when I'm talking to a customer, my headphones go like this and they start sliding off my head, and I'm like, oh shit, I can't hear. I can't hear you. And I'm like, oh, because my headphones are freaking falling off my head.
Oh my
Anyways,
god.
I just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, y'all. Let's hit some current events though and some real shit.
Mm.
Um, I don't know where we should begin. Should we begin? I mean, unfortunately, they're both related to death.
Yeah, so we're gonna change the tune a little bit here.
Womp, womp,
Um
womp.
I mean, I guess we can start with I don't really know which one's more recent, but I feel like one of
Oh yeah,
well,
Susan is more recent.
that's more recent, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we can just start with Susan then,
Yes. I always feel like Cassie has more details, and maybe you just put into like more effort into reading or listening to videos or something. But I'm a skim coder. Like I just skim it and I just get the facts. So here are the quick facts from Amanda. Susan is the new Karen, right? So there's a woman named Susan. I don't know how to say her last name. It starts with a L and it ends in a Z. And she ultimately shot a woman, a mother of four children, through a door in Florida. So instead of Florida man, we have Florida
Oh,
woman because there's always the news Florida man, Florida man.
you know what? I'm gonna stop you really quickly because your video is really pixelated, and we did hear, like, everything you were saying, but it is also just kind of slightly robotic. So,
No.
you know, you're still kind of, like, grainy, so I'm just trying to, like, delay this until we can kind of get it back
No.
back to normal, but I can hear you, so I'm just kind of, like, trying to, like, mesh
Anything?
everything together here, so still a little grainy, but, better than
Oh
what it
my
was.
gosh.
So, we can just continue on with the story, but I just wanted to point that out so it's not, like, weird to the
Let's have you share the story since
to the
it's going to be a
listeners.
little easier.
Alright, well, so basically, I mean, Amanda already kind of, did majority of it, but they're pretty much 2 neighbors. There was the woman, Susan, and then this other lady and her children. They've always had, like, back and forths, like, arguments and whatever. The cops have been called there numerous times. And I forget exactly what the most recent incident was. I think you recall whatever it was, but, like, Susan had
Yeah,
thrown something
kids
at the kids.
playing. Yeah, kids are playing and I think the woman's son's tablet was thrown at him or something like that.
Yeah, something was thrown, which, obviously upset the
Or
mom.
rollerblades. He got hit with something crazy.
Yeah. Whatever, I mean, regardless, out of line, like, don't throw something at somebody's children regardless how many, like, spats or whatever you have with each other.
Mhm.
And, I am guessing that kind of prompted mom to go over to the neighbor's house and knock on her door, and when she knocked on her door, she wasn't greeted by anybody except she was just shot through the door while she was with her son. Which is just totally insane to me. Like, how do you even
Sickening.
have the grounds to shoot someone when you don't even know what's on the other side of that door? Like, yeah, she could have assumed, like, who it was or whatever, but, like,
Mhm.
you still like, what the fuck? Like, you don't do shit like that, and the more baffling thing to me is that they can't even arrest her until they can prove that, like, I forget what it was. It was, like, prove that it's not self-defense, it's some law that they have in Florida, of course, where it's like stand your ground or some shit like that.
Yeah, a bunch of BS essentially.
Yeah, pretty much, and until they can prove that, like, it was intent or, some kind of bullshit, I forget exactly, and I apologize for that. But basically, she's just not arrested yet until they can do whatever, and now this lady is dead, and her son is probably completely fucking traumatized because 'cause they're all young children.
Four kids
Yeah, it's just absolutely insane.
without a mother and they're all under the age of 12 from what I've heard.
Sad.
It's like it's really interesting because I was thinking this today without even thinking about the situation that happened. But it's like you think about your neighbors and do you know do you actually do people actually know their neighbors nowadays? Because I feel like if you've moved recently within the past, say, COVID years, right?
Mhm.
How many people actually know their neighbors? Because I know there was a lot of house buying and house selling, things like that. But
Yeah.
like, do people actually go out of their way to meet their neighbors, to get to know their neighbors, to, like have some
Yeah.
type of relationship with their neighbors?
I mean, I
Is that
don't
a thing?
I don't think so. Like, I know it was back in the day where people would, like, bring, like, baked goodies, like, "Oh, welcome to the neighborhood," kind of a thing.
Mhm.
But, I don't think so now. I mean, I don't know what it's like to live in a house because 'cause I've been in an apartment for so long, but you know that
Right.
I did recently just move,
Mhm.
and I don't know any of my neighbors here, but, like, in my last place, granted I was there for, like, 8 years, I did know
Mhm.
my neighbors there,
Good.
but I don't have a clue who my neighbors are here, so
Yeah. It's like it's just one of those things that just made me wonder because where I'm at now, I know quite a few of my neighbors,
yeah.
because there are the same neighbors. There's a lot that stay outside often, so
Mhm.
it's they just be all up in your business and shit. Anyways, I think that's why they be outside. Y'all take it
Probably.
however you want it, but yeah, they those are the neighbors that know when shit switch up quick. They on it because they literally see everything.
Yeah.
So those neighbors I know because in passing and then end up turning into conversation, but it's just like damn, like, it just I just reflected even further back to, like, growing up in Montville. I fucking loved my neighbors.
Oh, well, see, so for us, my dad feuded with our neighbor all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it would get to the point I forget what happened, but, it was like a pine tree, and it was on my neighbor's side of the yard, but all the pine needles would fall into our yard,
Mhm.
and my dad was so livid about all of that shit, he would rake up all the pine needles, he would throw them in a trash bin, and then throw them on his side of the
That is
of the yard.
hilarious just for the wind to blow it back onto y'all side.
Oh my god. I was just like, "Dad," I was like, "What are you
Oh my
doing?" Like,
gosh.
they would just have, like, the craziest, like, back and forth, like,
Mhm.
random, like, petty shit, but, like, it never alluded to like, no cops were ever called, like,
Right,
it
didn't
was
escalate into
nothing.
anything.
No, and it's like, why are people going to these extremes these days? Like, I don't
It's
get it.
the amount of fear and the amount of hate
Yeah, it's
is
crazy.
it's so high. It's just so high in people, and it's just such a lack of understanding or
Mhm.
and communication
Yeah.
because there should be I get there are some people that are hard to talk to. That's just like legit
Yeah,
it. Like
definitely.
that like for me that's my father. He's a person that's just hard to talk to because he
Yeah.
doesn't listen. But and there are people like that. So lack of communication really is an issue, but it's like how like you said, how do you get there? How do you get there? But I feel like it's those things that are causing people to just reach an extreme, you know?
Yeah, but, like, I never truly understand it, though, because, like, what are you gaining from this? Like, are you satisfied? Like, because what if you do and hopefully she does get arrested, like,
Mhm.
like, then what? Okay, so you solved your, like, feud because the person's not here anymore, but, like, what are you gaining? Like,
They don't and that's the thing is that when people do shit like that, they don't care about gaining,
no,
and I hate to say it, but it's just also probably she's racist,
probably.
I feel like that has to be the hugest factor because when situations like that happen, because that's like, the old dude that shot the little boy that knocked at his door,
Oh, yeah, all
that
that
went to the
kind of
wrong
shit.
house.
Mhm.
Like, it's just like, okay, like those are people that still have racist ass bones in their bodies
Right.
and are doing shit like that because there's really no reason for anyone to be shot in those circumstances
Not at
at
all.
all.
No,
At all.
never.
If you're that upset, get the police to handle it again. Oh, the police didn't handle it the way you wanted, so you just go ahead and fucking shoot her?
Right, yeah, that's not up to you to
No.
and, like, she has kids, like, what the fuck is wro like, I just
She don't
can't.
care.
It
She
is
don't care.
sickening, like,
It is, but I hope justice is truly served because
oh,
that
yeah.
bitch needs a chair. Get her, put her ass in the chair and let her ass go. She's awesome. We're done with her.
I know, we gotta look up if Florida's a death penalty state
I
because
doubt it.
I don't know.
Doubt it.
Probably not.
But ugh. Anyways, onwards and unfortunately not upwards.
Yeah.
But BBLs have
Mm.
are they just necessarily BBLs? Because it's more of just surgery, really. Because we have Jackie O, who's from Wild 'N Out,
Mhm.
and then would you say the Kim Kardashian lookalike, which I was not aware of.
Yeah, I forget what her name is, and I apologize, but She was known to be a Kim Kardashian lookalike. She
Mm,
a couple of weeks or maybe a month or so before Jackie O had passed,
yep.
she had died also from getting plastic surgery, and they are actually charging her doctor with whatever malpractice or whatever the hell it is, and they're
Wow.
charging her with the cause of her death. But it's just insane to me. Like the way that the world is right now, as far as like being a female and,
Mm-hmm.
being pressured to like look the greatest, and like plastic surgery is literally everywhere from like Botox to lip fillers to
Yeah.
these BBLs and like all this like
Mm-hmm.
madness. And it's like, first of all, I just don't understand the trend at all whatsoever. Like natural beauty to me, no matter what you look like, is always the best.
Top.
And because all these people look so crazy, like, I feel like majority of people who are getting this shit don't even look good. Like
They look unreal. They don't look like real people, and it's funny because if you watch shows like I'll watch like Housewives of Atlanta,
yeah.
and they'll do, flashbacks to previous seasons, and looking at how they look then to how they look
Mhm.
now, it's like people they just look so done up. They
Yeah.
look so unnatural, but
Mhm.
not necessarily like freaks or anything like that, you know what I mean? But it's just
Right.
like it's just so evident that you don't naturally look like that.
Right. Or the people that, like, can't, like, smile because like, their fa
Mhm. Face
I
is
just
stuck. Yeah.
yeah,
The
no.
Kim Kardashian look like her name is Christina Ashton Gorkani. So
Oh, okay.
that was her name. And she was only 34, y'all.
Yeah. I mean, they're both young 'cause Jackie O was only 30 something, like 32 or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, she was very young as well. And she was getting a mommy makeover.
Yeah, and so the thing I heard with that surgery though is I forget, it's whatever injections that they do. It's
Mhm.
very risky because like it's like close to like some kind of like nerves or whatever, and if you inject whatever it is into the nerve, like it goes um straight to your heart because like
Mm.
to the veins that like lead to your heart or whatever. And
Yeah.
the plastic surgeon that was talking about it like is alluding to, maybe something like that had happened.
Mm.
So it's just like the risk and stuff either isn't like explained to people or they just don't care because like
Oh, they right.
everybody's getting BBLs, so it's like
They want to
normal.
keep
But
up with the Joneses pretty much.
yeah, it's sad. And like
Oh,
she
it
had young
is.
kids too. Like,
3, and her youngest, I don't know if he's even a year older, and I know he's not 2.
yeah, like
She
this
has
is
kids all
sad.
under, like, 6 and under.
Hmm. And all just to look better because, she is a social media, you know, star or whatever, and she has to look her best. And I mean, feel her best too, because, after a kid and
Right.
stuff, like you want to whatever. But
Right, right, but
um,
it's like the line has to be drawn somewhere, and unfortunately, societal pressure is at an all-time high.
yeah.
Everyone's on social media, everyone has something to say about somebody else. But I just want to say the thing that really bothers me the most about that situation
Mm.
is not necessarily the fact of what happened to her, but I don't know if you ever watch Wild 'N Out, but DC Young Fly, Jackie O's man, had pretty much like bad bad blood with Azalea Banks, a musician.
Mhm.
And Azalea was on an episode of Wild 'N Out. You
Okay.
know, for those of you who aren't familiar with Wild 'N Out, it's Nick Cannon's show where they pretty much crack jokes on each other and have fun. They do it through song, and they just do it through games as well. It's actually a really funny show, and I personally find it enjoyable because it's just all laughter.
Yeah.
And again, it's just for pure fun. Azalea went onto the show. She pretty much like killed the whole vibe of the show. She was taking everything personally, like ended up crying on the show, was talking pure shit, but not for fun, like but just to like actual hurt feelings
Mhm.
type of talking shit. So her and DC were going back and forth or whatever. So since they had their squabble or whatever,
Yeah.
she felt like he had affected her career or something like that.
Oh.
So I just seen it. She had a post up last night saying in the end, she won, Azalea being the one who won, that, oh, what are the odds that Jackie died on Azalea's 32nd birthday
What?
that Jackie was 32 and she died on May 31st, which is Azalea's 32nd birthday. How ironic. And that she won in the end. And like, it
The
was
fuck?
pure evil. Pure
That's insane.
evil. Like, I just honestly can't believe what I was reading. Like, she was
Yeah.
literally like celebrating a win because someone's woman died on the table to make herself look better. And that woman had absolutely nothing to do with the beef that she had with DC Young Fly.
Yeah, that just sounds wild. Like, what the fuck?
It was very sickening. It really, really was. And it's just like, I don't know. Like, I personally feel like Azalea Banks may have some type of mental illness because there's no way in hell that
Yeah, you don't say shit like that. Like, what the fuck?
at all. Like, whew, I don't know, but that's what bothered me the most about the situation. I find it very sad, and I personally wouldn't encourage anyone to go undergo surgery like that, especially with it being such a high
Yeah.
risk. And, when there's other ways that we can try to make ourselves look better, which I know doesn't always work for everyone,
Yeah.
but just, it's just, I would always try to negate someone away from societal pressure when it comes to possibly
Mhm.
affecting their life that way.
Yeah.
But it's
Definitely
just
agree.
like you said, it's sad, and it's just, you know, we all wear our little makeup, we all do our little things, to
Mhm.
try to enhance ourselves and make ourselves look more of a way that maybe we desire, but just use clothes for that. Just get a new outfit and tell us where you're shopping because we still need to know.
Facts.
I just got some stuff in today from Shein, and
Oh, good.
most of it looked good. So,
Yeah, good.
mhm,
Glad
yeah,
to hear it.
thank you.
Glad to hear it. Good luck with that. That Shein journey.
Yes, yeah. We'll talk
Oh,
about that
man.
more later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what's happening right now, y'all. Not a lot of good stuff. Our current events were very, very in the gutter, but
Mm.
unfortunately that's where life is right now. Other than my positive current event of getting that video in finally, but
Yeah.
that was also short-lived, a 2.2-second joy, but you know,
More like 4 minutes and something seconds, so
she wasn't counting.
I just can't with you today.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're not gonna drown y'all in any more sorrow of these current events. Definitely though, stay safe. If you don't know your neighbor, I don't know if I should even encourage you to get to know your neighbor because apparently folks are just wilding out
Yeah.
here. But use communication. Don't get caught up in the bullshit. Keep yourself safe.
Yes.
Eat something healthier, maybe, that can help you avoid surgery of some sort, not necessarily a makeover, but
Yeah.
find more healthy ways in life and positive things to do. And we want to keep y'all here. We don't want to see any more bad news.
No, we definitely don't. So make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves, and we will check into you guys next week.
Until next time.
Bye.